board? Visible? Tingog alayon? Nakikitaan ba?
Nakikita man, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige, thank you. So, the definition of a derivative is that if we have a function f of x, then the derivative f prime of x, this is equal to the limit of f of x plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x as delta x approaches 0. So amo talaga ini iton kasirignon hiton derivative. When we are getting the derivative of any function, this is what we are doing. We are getting the limit of the derivative of the function tapos evaluated at x plus a certain number or a certain quantity delta x tapos sasubtractan ko an function divide by that quantity delta x, and then we're getting the limit as delta x approaches to 0. So nagtitikaguti. Remember, anak ko niya kanhan una, we cannot divide by 0, but what we are doing here, we are letting this value delta x get very, very close to 0 but not equal to 0. Again, anak niya kanhan unang limit, we are not interested in what happens when it becomes 0. What we are trying to see is what happens as it goes to 0 in here na value din here. One way of nahihapan admit ko let manasulod. Okay. So one way of thinking ano in here na derivative is if we are let's say we have a function tas amo nit iya graph baga nasugada. Somewhat parabolic. Now, what we want calculus started ngadtuhan panahon ni Newton, ni Leibniz. Tapos what they wanted to do was to check if the rate of change as guti ay na mga changes, ano ito nagiging ano ito na rate hiton change natin. So from let me just change the function. Let me make it into something better. Okay. So if we have so in here. So if we want to see what is the change happening here, so what we can do is get the slope of the get a tangent line. When we say tangent line nga ni, that line is touching the graph or that that graph at exactly 1 point only. So let's say we have a tangent line here. So let's say that they're tangent at that point. Tapos may nakalot tangent line in here, tangent line in here, tangent line in here. So what are the slopes of these tangent lines? So I think na-discuss man ang iyo ko ang iyo analytic geometry last sem on what are the slope. So the slope meaning ano ka, is it a steep slope, not too steep, is it flat, is it vertical? So if the slope is sugad lain in here, duro ka steep, meaning itong the change happening is not that drastic, not that fast. But if the slope is like this, medyo steep nga na itong mga slope, meaning fast itong change, meaning guti ay na-change nimo itong imo x, di ba? Amo man din itong x. Dako iton imo nakikita na change in y. Whereas an nga di guti ay na-change an imo x, guti ay liliwat an change an imo y. So this ininhira na mga mga tangent lines, this tells us how fast is the function changing at those certain points. If makaabot kita, we will have some applications of this. We will have rates of change na applications of derivatives. Okay. Also, if you will be reading other textbooks will be would probably be using here either H or T. So instead of delta x, they will use either h or t. H or t. Okay, so let's have an example. Mag-evaluate kita in derivative wherein we will be using the definition. So let's have something that is quite easy. Let's say our function is 2x. Now we know, based on our previous lesson, that the derivative of 2x, piraman at derivative of 2x. Anyone? What's the derivative of 2x? Paray na, nalimot na, ginaano pagkuwet derivative of 2x?
2, sir.
2. So, nagiging derivative niya is equal to 2. So, this time, instead of using the rules that we discussed previously, we will be using atuhiya na mga limit. So, how do we do that? We simply substitute. So, again ha, igsusat anay ang definition of the derivative. So, that's the limit of f of x plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x as delta x approaches 0. So again, substitution line in here. Since we are not yet evaluating the limit, so masurat lagi pa nakitahan limit. Tapos inin na hiya, instead of f of x plus delta x, babaliuan ta na inin hiya na x din hi, may himon hiya na x plus delta x. So that is 2 times x plus delta x minus, and aton f of x, the original f of x is 2x all over delta x, and this is delta x approaching to 0. So we will simplify, multiply or distribute 2x plus 2 delta x minus 2x all over delta x. By the way ha, para diri kamo baga malipat, inin hiya na delta x, this is just a single variable. Diri inin hiya bagahin delta times x. Huna-huna ito hiya as a single component itong delta x. Kay later on, magkadikitan mga squared, bangin mga mahilipat. So again, this is delta x approaches 0. So, simplify itong 2x ma-cancel. So, mabibilin aton is we will have 2 delta x all over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Ma-cancel yan ang mga delta x. So, what we are left with is limit of 2 as delta x approaches to 0. So, this time, waray na kita masisimplify. So, ang atong gimbubuhatan limit, again, isa-substitute naton ininhiya dinhi iton aton limit. Delta x, substitute naton 0. But waray man kita nga di delta x, so this is simply equal to 2. And that's the final answer. So, amo ininhiya iton aton derivative. So, derivative of 2x is equal to 2, and we say that that is correct because according an aton previous discussion on the rules of differentiation, amo inihiya iton derivative ni 2x2. Tapos yung gamit ta ang limit na definition, nakuha ta na derivative ni 2x is also 2. So, basically, what I'm trying to say here is that magamit nga kita definition, magamit kita hiton rules of differentiation, the answer should be the same. Any questions so far? Maufa-kanet kam? Cha-charge lang ako. But yes, if you have any question, please raise them. What are questions?
Oh, sir, baga ini baga na din check la na correct talaga nito.
Actually, amo talaga kung makita ka mo nga rit mga libro pati nga din work text nga ni nakinhataga iyo, ito naguuna is ininhiya ininakuan using the definition, the limit definition of the derivative. Pero as nagdiniscuss na kini na calculus 1, nakita ko na mas madalian kuan ginuuna anay an shortcut tapos mabalik na kita nga hiton definition. So supposedly an ang shortcut, ang rules on differentiation, amo itong ginagamit pag verify kung sakto. Tapos ini na limit iton kuan mauna. But yeah, in mathematics again, as long as as long as you were following the correct rules, mga logical na mathematical steps, then it's okay. Amo la kay nga dahiton pag exam, ma-state la ako na amo init kimita or amo init gamita. Pero iton ano rules of differentiation amo na gud talaga iton hiraan kuan and mas masayon na way pagbiling hiton derivatives kaysa han definition kay limit hilakit kinita ka kung nagamit kita ng rules of differentiation f of x equal to 2x diretsyo na ani mo f prime of x equal to 2 kapag gamit ang limit definition pera ito kalinya na aton ginsurat so hilaba talaga but you need to know this kay when you go to higher math, we will be proving some properties tapos kailangan ininhiya na knowledge in the limit definition of the derivative. Okay? Any other questions? If there's no other questions, sige, let's have another example. Let's say now we have f of x equal to, let's make it a bit hard, x squared minus 3x plus 5. So, our f prime of x, diri ko nagsusurat ang definition, igdidiretso ko na pag substitute. This will be x plus delta x squared minus 3 times x plus delta x plus 5. Now, this time, because we have here 3 terms, pag minus natin nga di, please make sure to put a parenthesis. Kaya kung waray nga ni parenthesis, duro-diretso la iton pagsurat, sayop na itot mga signs. So, we get x squared minus 3x plus 5. All over delta x as delta x approach to 0. So we will now expand is the limit. So this is a binomial. We square a binomial. The shortcut x squared plus 2x delta x plus delta x squared. Para di rin malipat, butangin na lang siguro in parenthesis delta x squared. Tapos minus 3x minus 3 delta x plus 5 minus x squared minus 3x, plus 3x minus 5. All over delta x as delta x approach to 0. Okay, so amin ito na imo kailangan mahinumduman. Mag-simplify ka na nga ni, magko-combine like terms ka nga ni, dapat makancel ni mo tanan na adi-adi. Han minus f of x, ininhira dapat makancel tanan. May da ka nga ni nga da mabilin, kasi rin ito, may da ka nga di na sayuphin sign. Either na plus or na minus nga di or nganhi sayupan imo pagkuan pag distributehan minus. So verify x squared ma-cancel niya hi minus x squared. Next, negative 3x ka-cancel niya hi positive 3x, si positive 5 ka-cancel niya hi negative 5. So what we will have left will be 2x delta x plus delta x squared minus 3 delta x all over delta x as delta x approach to 0. Kung hiara ka na mag-factor out, pwede na nimo diretso mag-cancel-cancel ka nga di. Or kung diri nga ni, kay magfa-factor out anay kita, so i-factor out na kung hi delta x. Factor out na kung from all 3, so we will have 2x plus delta x minus 3 all over delta x as delta x approach to 0. So this time we cancel delta x. In niya na cancellation, this means that this becomes 1. Di rin niya nagiging 0. So we still retain this factor na 2x plus delta x minus 3. So we have 2x plus delta x minus 3. Waray na over. And then this is as delta x approach to 0. So this time, we will be substituting delta x with 0. So di rin na natin nagsusurat ang limit. So we get 2x plus 0 minus 3, or we simply have 2x minus 3. So this is our f prime of x. Let's recall iton aton rules of differentiation. 2x squared, the derivative of x squared is 2x. Kay minus 3x magiging minus 3, kay 5 magiging 0. So sakto iton aton derivative 2x minus 3. Kuha, any questions? Clarifications on this one? Sige, waray, let's have another example.
Sir, excuse.
Sige.
Kaya
Ano?
last by that 3, awad niya na X, ayo. Sorry. Nalipat lang ako, sir. Okay na.
Okay na? Okay na, sige. Let's have another example. So let's now have f of x. Pakurian natin maguti. Let's make this 2x cube plus negative ta. Negative 2x cube plus 4x squared minus 7x. Yeah. So let's get the derivative. So this is the limit of negative 2 times x plus delta x cube plus 4 times x plus delta x squared minus 7 times x plus delta x minus the quantity negative 2x cube plus 4x squared minus 7x all over delta x. Delta x goes to 0. And this is equal to, so negative 2, expand taanay, this will become x cubed plus 3x squared delta x plus 3x delta x squared. Butanta na ito nga dan ban parenthesis para di malipat na it delta x at kini square plus delta x cube plus 4 times x squared plus 2 x delta x plus delta x squared minus 7x minus 7 delta x. Tapos nga di, mag-change values, magiging plus 2x cube minus 4x squared plus 7x all over delta x, and this is as delta x approach to 0. So this time, let's multiply or let's distribute. So we will have negative 2x cubed minus 6x squared delta x minus 6x delta x squared minus 2 delta x cubed plus 4x squared plus 8x delta x plus 8 delta x squared minus 7x minus 7 delta x. Copy line in hira. All over delta x as delta x approach to 0. So this time, magka-cancel kita. So inin, cancel. 4x cubed, negative 4x, 4x squared and negative 4x squared. Tapos minus 7x plus 7x. And then let's look for similar terms. X squared delta x, waray. X delta x squared, waray kapareha. Delta x cubed, waray kapareha. X delta x, 8x delta 8 delta x squared. Okay, waray kapareha. So we will just be rewriting everything basically. Tapos, may da nga di delta x, may da 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 delta x ratanan. So, igfa-factor out ko hi delta x diretso. Delta x, tapos magiging 6x squared. Factor out naman ni delta x, so 6x squared na la. Pagka di 6x delta x squared, kuhaan ko yung usa ka delta x, magiging 6x delta x. Nga di kuhaan ko yung usa ka delta x, so magiging squared na kaya, so 2 delta x squared. Kuhaanin delta x, magiging 8x. Kuhaan delta x, magiging 8 delta x. Kuhaanin delta x, minus 7. All over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. So, makancel na ang mga delta x. Makakon ba yun? I have to go to the next frame. Okay. Naiha. So, what we have will be negative 6x squared, 6x delta x. Two delta x squared. Eight x, 8 delta x minus 7. And this is delta x approaching to 0. Okay, so now we will be evaluating the limit. So substitutean tanan ng mga delta x in 0. So adihiya mariretain negative 6x squared. Ininhiya magiging 6x times 0 minus 2 times 0 squared plus 8x plus 8 times 0 minus 7. So ini na may mga times 0, magiging 0 na go itong hera. So cancel na itong hera. So what we will have is negative 6x squared plus 8x minus 7. This is the derivative. So again, ano to natin function? Negative 2x cubed plus 4x squared minus 7x. So using the rules of differentiation, so negative 2 times 3 magiging negative 6x tapos minus 2, minus 1. So magiging squared. Adi magiging plus 8x and in here magiging minus 7. And that is exactly what we have here. Okay pa? Any questions, clarifications? Kuhala? No questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Di rin nalak magpapa-answer ayo kay di mga ni ka muna nga answer kuan la na answer tinibro. So, makuha na lang kita. We will now go to the next lesson which is the higher order derivative. Higher. Anyway, this is in your kuan. This is in the work text. So, higher order derivative, kasi regular ng hiya, ang derivative, kukuhaan mo otro yung derivative, pwede pa kuhaan otro yung derivative, depende kung ano itong ginaaro. So, we can have, so an aton f prime of x, we call this the first derivative. Tapos, kung ininhiyaan, maging answer din, kukuhaan ta nga ni otro yung derivative, bubutan tatin f double prime of x. We call this the second derivative. And then pwede pati f 3 and so on. And then we can go up to the nth derivative of the function. So depende kung ano itong ginbibiling. And similarly, nagamit kita to in y prime. So in here, first derivative y prime, adi ma y double prime, y triple prime, and so on up to y the nth prime. And let me just check ano itong kuan. Annotation han kuan pag makarelipat. Nay ha. This is d squared y dx squared. So we can write also d squared y, sorry, meaning din this is dy over dx. Pagka di second derivative, d squared y dx squared. Tapos nga di kay d cube y dx cube and so on d n y dx n. So dito yan. So let's have an example. Let's have something a bit easy. So let's say our function is 3x to the power 4 plus 4x cubed minus 12x squared plus 5x minus 7. Easy. So the first derivative, of course, sige, what's the first derivative? Anyone? What's the first derivative? Answer, Hine? Sige, manaw kita. Let me pull up my class record. Kay pangraduhan ta inin. Itawagon na diri bumaton minus point. Ay, sayop. Wait.
Ako, sir.
Sige. Tinibro ito na liwat?
Yes, sir.
Sige, at derivative.
12x cubed plus 12x squared minus 24x plus 5.
Okay, very good. Sige, so yan na, itong second derivative, mga pagbabasihan, kukuha ang derivative, ibaliwat. Miss Delarama.
Ako, sir.
Sige, Miss Breva, Norilin, anit kuan.
24x squared plus 24x minus 24.
Diri 24, nganhi, itong katikangan.
Anay? 30, 36.
36x.
36x squared plus 24x minus 24.
Okay, very good. Tapos, kung pwede, bibiling pahin third derivative, so we just repeat the process. But that is of course very easy. So nga dikitahin, medyo makurukurihay kunuhay. Let's do, katikangan, maghihimoy yahin. Tawag ito, magamit kitahan multiplication rule. Sige. O ito ma-answer. Get the derivative of this one. So again ha, igsurat ta, ano rule to ya if you have kuan g of x times f. So the derivative h prime of x will be kuha derivative it katikangan na may the parenthesis, ikopya an ikaduha plus ikopya an katikangan, kuha ang derivativehan ikaduha. Sige, ano derivative ni x squared minus 3?
X squared.
X squared minus 3, pag derivative niya magiging hala, kada mo nagkawag gara. 29 kanina, naging 20 na la. Ay anay adi hikuan, Mr. Landong. Nin kay pira ka nakatuig ka BS Mat Landong.
Ikatulo pala yan. Yung unang
Katul pala. Sige, sige. Ano derivative na x squared minus 3?
2x.
Ha?
I-drive
Ano to?
ito sir, 2x.
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 Tapos, may pa?
Man la sir.
Mula 2x. Okay, tapos kopya adihiya plus, yan na, kopyahon ni x squared minus 3. Yan na, ano itong derivative ni 2x plus 5? Landong lagyapon.
Kuala, sir. Anay? 2. 2.
2. Okay. Sige, and then we let's multiply. So this will become 4x squared plus 10x plus 2x squared minus 6. We can combine the x squared, so this will become 6x squared plus 10x minus 6. So this is the first derivative. If we find the second derivative, then this will be, sige, ilandong gyapon. Pakyaw na inin. Derivative ni
Ayun, sir.
6x squared.
12. 12x.
Of x. Exponent, ano man?
Okay. X la.
X
1,
la.
sir.
Okay. Tapos,
10
10x
plus 10.
magiging
10 la.
10. I6 magiging
Mawara, sir.
wala kay magiging 0. So this is the second derivative, 12x plus 10. So sugad la ito ka simple. Medyo magiging makuri hiya. Let's now have, madi nakitahin medyo makuri. Let's have division. Iniya. So, let's first find the first derivative. Sige, try na ko pag-solve. Magmimutlak anay. Kung hinot may daan sir, ya ka na. Kung hinot to nagkuhan ni kanina, Hibreva, Tenebrongan, Landong. Kung may na answer, yak ninala ako. Bisan di repeat on final answer, iton ko anla. Pagkuha pala iton first step, pagkuha iton derivative. Kung gusto niyo makapanginod to on time, palihog, answer eh.
Ako, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Jan Eric. Sige, i-dictate ha ako na ang taksusurat nga di.
Ano, sir? 3x plus 5. Open parenthesis.
Sugad.
Sir, plus.
Plus, nga di, sorry.
Yes, sir. 3x plus 5 times x minus 2.
Ha, nanimgin derivative.
Sir, sir, 3x plus 5 over x minus 2.
tapos ako ginsurat lalotian sugad.
Yes, sir.
Ginkopya
Ano,
mo
sir?
man laan duha, waray man gin derivative. Again ha, anay, surat ta ha, if we have h of x is equal to f of x over g of x, the rule again, low di high, so g of
Ako,
x,
sir.
f anay ha, igsuratan ninin, minus high di low, all over low squared. Ino to nagkuan ako.
Ako, sir.
Ayaw na, suki ka ng duro. Nado na lang tanan na points.
Liwat.
Miss Sundia, Mary Joy. Pinmata ka na yung manok.
Sir.
Sige, go ahead. Tawa na ha, giris ko ladi.
Sir, open parentheses,
Mhm.
x minus 2, close parentheses, times 3, minus 3x plus 5 times 1.
Tapos,
Tapos 3x
may
minus
dapa,
6
anay, kulang pa. May dapa, all over.
x minus 2 squared.
Okay. Sige, sige. Ako lanit mapadayon ninin bag
3x
multiply. Sige, go.
minus 6 minus 3x minus 5
All over.
x minus 2 squared.
Sige, and then let's go on this. Simplify.
Sir, cancel na da sir 3x minus 3x. Sir.
Okay. So magiging
Then, negative 11 over x minus 2 squared.
okay. Thank you, Miss Sundiam. Anay ha, record ko daan para di malimtan. Sige, yan ha. This is our first derivative. Yan na, we would like to look for the second derivative. Okay. Medyo makuriay na ininhiya itong second derivative yan na. Ma-involve kita in both quotient rule and chain rule. Kaya na magkakaroon chain rule, kaya nga dito aton ubos, naka-squared hiya. Sige, so maano ininhiya yan na. Low is negative is x minus 2 squared times derivative of high. The derivative of negative 11 is 0. So, makanselain here actually. Minus, yan na an high, negative 11 times. Ano itong derivative yan na hiton x minus 2 quantity squared. So, magamit kita ang chain rule. So, again ha, if may daka nga ni f of x to a certain power n, if derivative niya is n, tapos i-multiply lahi f of x, tas ang iya exponent ma-minusan hin 1, tas bibilngon nimo itong derivative it adi hasulod, i-multiply nimo. So, f prime of x. So, it may tabo, squared man, so ma-multiply kita nga dihin 2, tapos ikopya lahi x minus 2. Now, 2 minus 1, that is 1. Tapos, ano derivative ni x minus 2? That is still also 1. All over x minus 2 squared, igi-square o trohi squared. Nakita na ito ha? So, this is still low, derivative of high. Ayan, balanced color. In here, this is the denominator low. This one is the derivative of the numerator, negative 11. Derivative niya, 0. So, cancel na in here. Next, minus high. So, minus, copy and numerator, negative 11, times derivative of the denominator. So, the derivative of the denominator using the chain rule. So again, extra ta rin hiya. So if we have, kung pananglitan, ang aton la is x minus 2 squared. Itong derivative niya will be 2 times x minus 2 to the power 1 times derivative of x, so that is 1. So amo ininhiya nga di, ininhiya. This is the derivative of the denominator. Okay, and then we will continue. So ini minus negative 11 magiging positive 11 na ininhiya, tas times 1 tas times 2, so magkakaroon kita 22 times x minus 2 all over x minus 2 to the power 4. Kita, power 4 na iya kay squared, gin square ni mo utro. So 2 times 2, so 4. So ininhira, may dara common factor na x minus 2, x minus 2. So makancel niya, magiging 3, adi makancel. So this is equal to 22 over x minus 2 to the power 3. So amo na initon aton second derivative. Gets? Any questions?
Sir, di rin
Clarifications?
negative.
Hmm?
Di rin negative.
Dire kay minus negative man hiya. Anya di oh. Naiha, kuluran to otro.
Mga negative 11 niya niya.
Oo. Minus tapos negative 11. So naging positive na ya. Sige, let's have another example na medyo makuri. Balik kitahin multiplication rule. Tapos aton medyo hitaason iton power. Ngandro damo iton variables. Sige, so then hiya. Dire-duro ka kuri. So again, kung hiniton kuan, makahatag it first derivative, tingog na la, volunteers la na kita.
Sir?
Yes, Marjoy?
Derivatives.
Iba anay. Kaya may daka na kuan. May daka naman point. Hatag ta iba. Mr. Abilar, Jotham, ma-answer? Jotham, naka-unmute man? Nag-mute otro. Okay. Nag-unmute.
Open parenthesis.
Pero waray kami nababatian. Yes, Jotham, may answer? Unfortunately, waray nababatian. Bangin naka-headset ka. Headset ko ba on? Speaker na lang. Speaker.
Okay na, sir?
Okay, medyo may nababatian. Sige, i-dictate. At wala na ulit.
Sir, ako ulit try.
Sige, go, John Eric.
Sir, sa first derivative, negative 6x cubed. Open
Ayaw anay kita
parenthesis.
pagkuan. Ayaw anay. Ay, gimultiply nimo. Ayaw pag multiply gamitaan multiplication rule. Kuan yan ni adtuan f prime of x, g of x plus f of x, g prime of x. Para practice la kita ini hiton paggamitan multiplication rule. Ayaw anay i-expand.
Okay, sir.
Sige. Dahil may nga iba gusto mag-try. Mr. Ogardo, Adi, Kuya, Julius. Pwede mag-answer? Ogardo? Aro ba kunit mic ni Ogardo? Sige. Sige, pwede gap niyo type nga diha chat ito yung answer. Makauna mag-type. Amot may the point. Okay, may dahi divina ginsurat 6x plus 4 times negative 2. No, that again ha, iton aton pagkuha iton multiplication rule diri naton hira kukuha derivative at the same time. It bubuhaton derivative it katikangan, kopyaha iti kaduha. Plus kopyaha it katikangan, derivative iti kaduha. May dahilan dong 6x plus 4 times negative 2. Katikangan pala iton hiya. Kulang pa iton landong.
Sir,
Okay, anay ha? So dapat talaga inin hiya, may dagod inin magpla-plus. May da kita sugad inin. Parenthesis, parenthesis, plus, parenthesis, parenthesis. Sugad init mahitabo. Upat ini ka parenthesis.
ako sir.
Sige na la, Mary Joy.
Ako
Another
di
point
rin
for... Kimida ka na to kanina para untat magka-points gapit ibaba. Sige, anyway, hilandong nag-try man. Sige, go ahead, Mary Joy.
Sir,
Sige, go ahead.
6x plus 4 minus 2x minus 3
Tapos
plus
nga di.
3x x squared plus 4x plus 1 minus
Tapos nga di.
2.
Alright, sige. Ako na at ma-expand hinin. So this will become minus 12x squared minus 18x minus 8x minus 12. Magiging negative 6x squared minus 8x minus 2. Ako nag-get ma-simplify. Negative 12x squared, negative 18x squared. Tapos 18 minus 8, negative 26. Minus 8 na liwat, 34. Minus 12 minus 2, so minus 14. Okay, so that's the first derivative. Sige, second derivative. Mas rusayo na yan na pagkuha second derivative kay magamit na lahan kuan addition subtraction rule. Sige, hinot ma-answer na second derivative. Masayo na la.
Ako,
Paunahay
sir.
pag-type. Sige. Tenebro.
Negative 36x minus 34.
Okay. So, that is the second derivative. Alright. Let's have one more. Another example. This time, balik kitahin division. Yan. Medyo makurukuri na. Ini na hiya. Sige, give me the first derivative. So again, bubuhaton. Ito, kuwat derivative katikangan. Or low di high, so copy at ada ubos, kuwat derivative it ada igbaw. Minus high di low, so copy it ada igbaw, kuwat derivative it ada ubos. All over low squared. Sige, pwede i-type na lalot niyo nga diha kuan. Butang ilahin kuan. Iton pag exponent niya nakita niyo chat box butang ilaan nasugad. So kumbaga mag 3x 3x squared sugad kasurat. Kita niyo chat box iton 3x squared sugad kasurat bali. Kung may daka mo 3x squared, may ba 3x squared?
Minus
Tapos
talaga yan, sir.
ha?
Minus fx plus.
Minus gx f prime of x minus fx g prime of x. Tapos guys, paghiara kita ha kay nga dahil aton pag-exam papasuraton ko kamo iton answer nga dayton Google Forms pag-exam. So paghiara kamo iton pagsugad na lain na pagsuratin naka-exponent nga ni butang iton hiya naka-laptop shift 6 iton hiya it mga nagpaka-cellphone makikita naman la iton hiya iton kuan ini na symbol para to indicate na exponent hiya. Sige, maguba iton Mike, pwede na la igsurat sa chat box. Okay, may da nahilandong 5 minus 2x 6x plus 2 minus copy 3x squared plus 2x plus 4 all over negative 2. Okay, tapos okay, sige, so may da nahilandong. So this is 5 minus 2x times 6x plus 2. Asya ba yung surat landong? Yes. Tapos minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 4 times negative 2 all over 5 minus 2x squared. Sige, ikaw muli itong pag simplify gyapon iton numerator. Again, type type chat box iton iba. Anay hinon to so far nag-answer? Yan ay landungan sondiam tingog ito rin mayakan ako kay bang hindi ka matagan lugudin point.
Sir.
Owens. Sige, magulat na kiton chat box. Isurat iton iyo answer. Iton simplification, bali. Iton next line. Simplify laanay. By the way, hit mga nagno-notes, send ko iton link kanina Jamboard.
Ano na ini, sir?
Simplify la iton kuan.
Ang
Wala
last
na,
one
sorry.
na niya.
I-simplify la na iton numerator. Sa multiply line in hera, tas taa dig kuan. I-distribute. Daw, may da ba chat? Okay, may da chat. Naunay jotam. 30x plus 10 minus 12x squared. So, pares baka mong ginsurat ni Divina. Ay, Divina, nag-answer ka gyapad to kanina ano? Panel, anay ha? Kunan ta para
Mali,
ma-record. Ha?
Mali.
Mali aton kuan kanina. Sige. Anay ha? Jota man na 30x plus 10 minus 12x squared.
May X po.
30x plus 10 minus ano to? 12x squared. Tapos minus 6x squared minus 4x minus 8. I-kuanta na lang diretso ha. I-simplify ta diretso. So, minus, tas i-distribute ta. So, magiging plus na inheratanan. So, magiging plus 6x squared plus 4x plus 8 all over 5 minus 2x squared down. 30x 10 plus 10. Tapos, ay, 30x. Tapos pagka di minus 4x. Nalilipat ako. 30x.
May da pa
Sir,
minus
kulang
Plus
4x.
pan for
10
x nga dahil 12x
minus
squared.
4x.
Kasunod ang 12x squared.
May dapa ko lang na
Negative 4x.
minus 4x. Okay. Sige. Okay. Sige. Thus, I will be continuing simplification. Okay, anyway, I'll give you credit for that, Jotham Abilar. So, ma-cancel in na 4x. Tapos, magiging 6x squared minus 12x squared. So, minus 6x squared. Tapos, 30x. Waray ka pare. So, plus 30x. Plus 10 plus 8 plus 18. All over 5 minus 2x quantity squared. Okay, so this time, let's look for the second derivative. Ini, medyo challenge sagot talaga ini. Kay iton adi aton igbaw is kuan, naka trinomial pa hiya. So di rin niya magiging zero la. So again, paunahay iton bisan iton numerator la i-type ha kuan chat box.
Bulig pa nga siya ni sir.
Again, bisan ito numerator la iton igsurat, but again take note magamit na luwat inihahin kuan in chain rule pagkuha itong derivative hiton denominator. Pero similar lad to hiyahan ginbuhatan kuan kanina. So kay last na ninhiya na example, ma-answeran tanganin niya magkukuha na kita. I-dismiss. Tapos masenda ko na EU problem set. May dana Mr. Aya ay minus 12x plus 30 let magiging kuan? To numerator? Pakisurat ana iton whole thing ayaw anay ig-simplify adi hiton numerator. So iton halaba anay surat. Kay bangin talaga hiyan na kuan tawag iton. Tas remember ha, when we kuan pag ikokopya lang ani g of x nga dihiton numerator pagkuha niton second derivative kopya pati iton iya exponent na squared. So kukuha ni man first derivative han numerator tas mumultiply nimo ang denominator api ito ni exponent na squared. So dire ito nimo mamumultiply iton hira na duwa. So tungod iton usa may diya squared unless imuhiya ig-simplify anay expand iton squared dire ito nimo mako-combine. Nay ha magkuan kita nga di. So surat ko la otro ang g prime of x negative 6x squared plus 30x plus 18. So pagkuha ni mo itong double prime, second derivative, so kukopyahon mo niya 5 minus 2x squared. Tapos, derivative. Yes,
Try, sir, try.
may na VJ. Sige, ano,
Try,
imo
sir,
man gin-type. Sige, itaan ko na. Or may dakaman kuan. Ito, microphone. Can you dictate to me? Go ahead,
Yes,
DJ.
sir. Try, there pa ako, sir, kung na muna ni sir.
Sige la, it's no problem.
16 plus 30.
So, iningan he.
12 plus 30 nga da, sir.
Ini din he.
Oo, sir. Ako na ba?
Negative 12x
that
plus
is
30.
Ako na. 30, yes,
Okay,
sir.
tapos nga di.
Parenthesis 12x plus 30.
12x plus 30 na liwat. May na naman kita 12x plus 30 nga di. Diri ka na maog
Sige,
12
sir.
x plus
Dira ako,
30.
sir.
So pagka nimo iton other side, igkukopyaan na nimo an numerator tapos ang denominator nan imo kukuan
Derive.
derivative using the chain rule. Anay may dahi Giselle. So an 5 minus 2 extra. Tapos ay kulang iniya Giselle. Dirila times negative 2. Anay may dahi Divina. Times 2 times 5 minus 2x. Diri na 2 iton i-exponent. Mag-change ito exponent kay ma-minus 1 ka man, Divina. Tapos pero sakto times negative 2. Anyway, sige, hirapit na Hindoroy Divina, so we will use that one. So nga di, kopya ni mo anay minus 6x squared plus 30x plus 18. Tapos nga din na, ma-multiply ka 2 times 5 minus 2x. Ito power 2, magiging power 1 na lang ito hiya. Tapos times the derivative of 5 minus 2x, which is negative 2. All over 5 minus 2x as power 4 na inin hiya. Nakuha, anong ginbuhatin ninyo di? Inin? This is the chain rule ha. So again, if we will have f of x is 5 minus 2x quantity squared, then our derivative for that will be 2 times 5 minus 2x power 1 times the derivative iton adi sulod iton parenthesis which is negative 2. So amoy nin hiya. Okay, so let's continue. We will simplify. Diri ko lainin hiya lalabtan na 5 minus 2x kay later on magka-cancel at kita tiya. 5 minus 2x quantity squared times minus 12x plus 30. Itbubuhaton ko lainin hiya everything na gawas itong 5 minus 2x ako i-multiply. So ininhiya na 2 na negative 2, i-multiply na ako nga di, tasig na negative. So 2 times negative 2, negative 4 times nga di, or ano ha? May da ko nga di negative, magiging positive na ininhira. So iton, kung ano iton signs sininiya din mari-retain, igta times 4 ko la. So magiging minus 4x squared plus 120x plus 18 times 4, 40 plus 24, 64. Sakto ba? 18 times 4, 40. 8 times 4, 32, 72. 72 times 5 minus 2x.
Sir, dere 4 times 6.
Hala, 4 times 6, 24. Kaya na yung naging 4 la. 24. Sorry, nawaraan to. Pero sakto na nga din, 30 times 4, so 120, 18 times 4, 40 plus 32, 72. Sakto. 5 minus 2x power 4. Okay, so hiratanan niya na may da mga factors na 5 minus 2x, pero itong pinakaguti ay is to the power 1. So iniya makancel, adi ang magiging power 1, adi ang magiging power 3. So may da ka na 5 minus 2x times minus 12x plus 30 minus 24x squared plus 120x plus 72 all over 5 minus 2x to the power 3. So, i-simplify natin na lainin hiya. So, this one will become negative 60x plus 150 plus 24x squared minus 60x minus 24x squared plus 120x plus 72 all over 5 minus 2x cubed. So makancel ang 24x squared, 60. This will be negative 120x plus 120x. So makancel gyapon ininhira. So tabilin kanala and constant 150 plus 72. Last one. Pero to 150 plus 72. So that's 222. Sakto. So our G by ni H. G double prime of x is 222 all over 5 minus 2x power 3. And this is the final answer. Clear tayo ninhira. Okay, so that's the final answer. So simplifying nala. So itong focus good, how I will give points to your answers, dinhi good talaga ito. Itong katikangan dinhi. Itong pag-apply hiton mga rules, amo iton una kikitaon. A majority of the points will be here. Makuha nga niyo, sakto ito niyo pag-answer dinhi, dako na iton iyo point. Pero syempre, of course, because your mathematical skills are also being tested on how you simplify, so may dagapinin corresponding points iton simplifying. Pero again, iton focus naton because this is calculus already, nga di kita hiton application of the rules of derivative. Okay, so naka-answer to yan na Divina, among pinakahirapitan answer. Panal. Okay, so any questions, clarifications? Klaro lang to na mga kuan, na mga tagiton, aton examples. Okay na? Going once, twice. Okay, sige. So if we don't have any other questions, I'll be ending the recording. Thank you for attending the class. See you next week for the next lesson. Magpapa-exam ako, kutub din which that will be our midterms tapos. Pero itong midterms next week pa. And then kung ano pa itong madiscuss, amo na itong kanan finals. So kutob din kutob iton second derivative, third derivative, or higher order derivatives, amo iton coverage iton midterms. Matikang lakita nga tuhan limits and kanan functions diritan adto ya goupod nga dayton exam naton hiton midterms bali.
So
okay?
sa naman midterm, sir?
Next week. That will be nga dahiton week iton 17 to 21. Wala pa kita fix na schedule hiton, basta ito nga na semana.
Oh, sige sir.
Okay, sige, if there are no more. Yes.
Iga-upload mo po ini.
Ano, Merjoy, sorry.
Iga-upload nin po ini ha, YouTube.
Yes.
Okay,
May dabak
sir.
nakalimtan pag-upload para iyo?
Last meeting, sir.
Ha?
Derivative, sir, waray pa ada.
On last meeting.
Last na kuan meeting? Pakikol ako, paki-remind ako diretso ha? Or if tas makalimutan nga nilot ako, paki-remind nilot otro kay syempre damot kin trabaho na iba nalilintan. Just constantly remind me basta mga dito na mga kuan uploads. Sige yan na anyway, adi man lak kabalay, work from home man ako, okay tam internet, upload ko ni diya. Yan na dayon. Sige, any other kuan questions, clarifications? Waray na? Okay, waray na good. Sige, so again, thank you for attending. Keep safe ka mo. Always social distance, pag-mask, pag-hunaw, and all. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.